Gunung Padang Megalithic Site, Indonesia. On the Indonesian island of Java, about 120 kilometers away from Jakarta, the answer to a huge mystery is buried in a mountain. Potentially, it could force humanity to rethink our entire history. Is there proof here of an ancient civilization, one advanced enough to create the greatest ancient wonder of the world, but so old that any record of it was lost thousands of years before the Egyptians even thought about building their first pyramid? It's called Gunung Padang and is far off the tourist trail. From Jakarta, it takes about 4 hours in a car to get there. Although the distance isn't so great, the roads get clogged with traffic as we pass through small towns and we're forced to slow down as we wind through uneven volcanic terrain. The last hour is on an unsurfaced rocky path. At the top, the building blocks of an ancient construction lie scattered across the grass. They are shaped like long rectangular bricks, maybe about 2 meters in length on average, and they are heavy. These are not man-made like bricks, though. Each piece is solid rock and was forged by a volcano in a time long ago. Man simply transported and arranged them to create whatever once stood here on this peak. Technically, there are 5 levels of terraces here at the top of the mountain, but they are divided into 2 main areas. The first has a meditative quality to it. It's relatively quiet aside from a slight rustling of leaves coming from the trees. They also provide some welcome shade in this tropical humidity. The second part of Gunung Padang is much larger and is made up of several shallow terraces, each built slightly higher than the other. It's probably fair to assume that if this was a religious site, the levels represent ascending authority. The rocks here, just like below, are strewn around relatively haphazardly, but it's possible to guess where they may have been used as columns or laid horizontally to construct buildings and altars. At the heart of it is a theory about what is below the surface. Some archaeologists believe that the mountain itself was built by humans. They say that it was an enormous tomb, constructed with volcanic rocks over centuries by many generations. They claim they have evidence from tests that humans may have built it up to 20,000 years ago. If correct, this would obviously make it more than 10,000 years older than the Egyptian pyramids. It would be one of the most incredible historical discoveries of our time. However, despite the insistence of certain experts and the hopes of the Indonesian government, there are a large number of academics who think it's simply impossible that Gunung Padang was built 20,000 years ago. Firstly, they say the evidence isn't good enough and there are alternative reasons for why some of the tests have come up with such old dates. But, also, they think it is just illogical to believe that a civilization could build such an enormous structure but leave no other signs of their existence. It's important to remember that, regardless of the truth, this is still a significant monument and a sign of an ancient people who were active in architecture and construction in a way that was ahead of the rest of the archipelago. It is undeniably the largest megalithic structure in Southeast Asia.